She want to steal my identity. Part 2.
I can settle this bill for you, Lily Parker asked hurriedly. Really? But I need you to admit in front of the entire class that I am the one paying for everyone today. Lily Parker's expression instantly crumbled. She looked at me, stammering, if I tell them the truth, how will I ever be able to hold my head up in front of them again? Then just go to jail. $270,000 is worth at least a few years behind bars. Lucy Snow was truly my spokesperson, showing no mercy whatsoever. Lily Parker hesitated for a moment before finally agreeing. Fine, I'll tell them the truth. You won't go back on your word, will you? Could I possibly not afford a measly $270,000? The moment I said this, I clearly saw a look of resentment in Lily Parker's eyes. It seemed she was truly envious now, but I wasn't going to let her have her way. Lily Parker followed behind us, keeping a short but noticeable distance. Just as I was about to push open the door to the private room, Lily Parker suddenly went down on her knees before me with a thud. Olivia, I know I was wrong. Please, forgive me. Both Lucy Snow and I were shocked. Neither of us expected Lily Parker to pull a stunt like this. Suddenly, I was shoved hard from the side. I lost my balance, and my body slammed against the wall. Olivia, are you okay? Lucy asked. I frowned and shook my head, not wanting her to worry. Lucy Snow, however, couldn't contain her indignation. Hey, are you blind? You ran right into someone. The man ignored Lucy. Instead, he helped Lily Parker up from the floor. Are you all right? Lily Parker shook her head, but her eyes were slightly red. Are they bullying you? Lily Parker glanced at Lucy and me, then feigned fear, subconsciously taking a step back. Lucy Snow already disliked Lily, and seeing this green tea act made her temper flare instantly. Lily Parker, speak clearly. Don't make it look like we're bullying you. The man shielded Lily Parker behind him. When he looked up, his eyes were filled with dissatisfaction and loathing toward us. It was only then that I saw his face clearly. Daniel Song, my childhood fiancé. I didn't expect him to show up here. The comments immediately flooded the screen once more. Damn, the male lead has appeared. No, they don't go to the same school. How do they know each other? Did the person above forget? The female lead has her own system. She used accumulated points to exchange for info on the male lead and intentionally fed stray cats where he passes by to grab his attention. I remember that later, the female lead successfully steals the supporting actress's identity, but because her personality changes so much, the parents get suspicious. So she goes all the way and hires an assassin to kill them. The person above remembers correctly, but she left a slip-up during her first murder. It was the male lead who helped her clean up the mess. The male lead knew all along she wasn't the supporting actress, yet he was still willing to do those things for her. Talk about true love. What true love? The male lead has an extreme inferiority complex. His family background and abilities are nowhere near the supporting actress's, so he didn't dare face his feelings. He chose to give his so-called love to the female lead, who clings to him like a vine. There's no such thing as sincere affection among the elite. After the parents died, the female lead inherited the entire estate. All of it eventually fell into the male lead's hands. In plain terms, he's a fortune hunter. Reading the comments on the screen, I clenched my fists. I never understood before why Daniel Song hated me so much. No matter how much I tried to please him, he never wanted to give me a second glance. He even specifically chose a different university just to spite me. I thought he simply disliked the arranged marriage and was rebelling. Now I knew the truth. It was because of his ridiculous pride. Yet, back then, he was the one who promised to take care of me for a lifetime. I didn't expect him to be so heartless toward me. Even less did I expect him to conspire with Lily Parker to completely destroy the Ward family. Since childhood, my parents had treated him like a family member. I thought that even if he were indifferent to me, he would at least remember my parents' kindness. It turned out he was nothing but an ungrateful, unculturable wolf. If they wanted to conspire to steal the Ward family's assets, they'd better see if they actually had the talent for it. Olivia, I really didn't misjudge you. You're just a petty person who uses your status to bully others. Lucy Snow countered immediately. Daniel Song, if your eyes are that bad, go donate them. To openly slander Olivia over a green tea girl, don't forget she is your actual fiancé. Fiancé? That was just a passing joke between the elders, Daniel Song said contemptuously. Olivia, stop dreaming. I'd rather marry a pig than you. Furious, Lucy stepped forward to argue with him, but I held her back. I wasn't angry at all. I just looked at Lily Parker standing behind him with a calm gaze. Lily, would you like to explain what just happened? I don't know. Lily stammered, her face a mask of confusion. I had thought it strange earlier. Why did Lily Parker suddenly change her attitude? It turned out she was intentionally putting on a show for Daniel Song. I had truly underestimated her acting skills. If she really had no fight in her, this game would actually be quite boring. I curled my lips slightly. Then let me remind you. You invited the whole class to karaoke, but when it came time to pay, you said you had no money. I was kind enough to help you, and this is how you treat me. With every word I spoke, Lily Parker's face grew a shade paler. The door to the private room wasn't tightly shut, and the classmates inside, hearing the commotion, all came out. Curious and judgmental eyes fell on Lily Parker. I told you Lily Parker didn't have the money. Acting like a big spender. I don't know what she was thinking. So she was just counting on Olivia to pay, and when she couldn't pay, she turned around and blamed her? Tsk. How is her skin thicker than a city wall? If I were her, I'd find a hole to crawl into. Lily Parker's eyes immediately reddened. She sobbed softly, saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have failed to recognize my own place. I just wanted to get along with everyone. I just didn't expect the costs here to be so high. I'm not as wealthy as Olivia, who can afford to book an entire hotel for a birthday. Everyone likes her. Haha, a classic green tea line, playing the victim while taking a jab at me. Daniel Song, predictably, took the bait. Olivia, you really do use your family's money to act out. Someone like you doesn't deserve sincere affection. Lily just wanted to invite her friends to a gathering. If you wouldn't help, fine, but to publicly humiliate her like this? Is this the kind of upbringing the Ward family provides? Lily Parker pulled on his sleeve just in time, saying hesitantly, Daniel, don't say any more. It's my own uselessness. That aggrieved, hesitant look. It was as if I had truly done something terrible to her. Don't be afraid. I'm here. No one can bully you. Watching their clumsy performance, I couldn't help but clap. My tone was dripping with irony. Such great acting. Should I give you both an award? Olivia, you don't need to be sarcastic. Isn't it just $270,000? Don't think you can trample on someone's dignity over such a small sum. With that, he pulled out a black card and slammed it into the manager's hand. The gesture was so forceful it was as if he were venting his anger. Swipe it. I'm paying this bill. Lily Parker's eyes lit up. She immediately huddled close to him, her voice sweet. Daniel, how could I? Why are you being so generous with me? Daniel Song looked down at her with a tenderness I had never seen. It was a gaze full of cherish and protection. With me here, no one will dare to make you suffer in the future. The comments went wild on the screen. Damn, this male lead is hopelessly blind. If it weren't for the Ward family's help over the years, the Song family would have gone bankrupt already. Using the supporting actress's family's money to fund a side piece while hating the girl herself. Absolutely disgusting. This green tea female lead is a pro. A few words and she's already triggered the male lead's hero complex. I feel so bad for the supporting actress. She's being grossed out by a dog and a wench teaming up. Wait, look at the supporting actress's expression. She doesn't seem angry at all. Indeed, not only was I not angry, but I felt a sense of relief. The more Daniel Song protected Lily Parker and spent money on her, the faster he would expose his own stupidity and his dependence on my family. He thought he was saving a damsel in distress. He didn't realize he was handing over the knife himself, walking step by step into the trap I had set. Since Mr. Song is being so generous, I won't fight for this bill anymore. I smiled at the manager. Go ahead and swipe the card. Daniel Song thought I had surrendered, his chin lifted even higher. At least you know your place. Lily Parker followed suit, becoming arrogant and looking at me with triumph. It was as if winning this contest meant she could replace me entirely. She seemed to have forgotten. No matter how good the imitation, a knockoff can never become the original. Lucy Snow stamped her foot in frustration. Olivia, you're just going to let them be smug? This pair of scoundrels is clearly insulting you. I patted her hand, signaling her to be calm. Daniel Song is nothing but a clown. He won't be jumping around for much longer. On the way back to the room, Daniel Song held Lily Parker's hand the entire time. They looked as intimate as a couple who had been together for years. Lily would occasionally turn back to glance at me, a boastful and victorious smile playing on her lips. The looks from my classmates turned complicated. There was sympathy, curiosity, and some even sneakily took out their phones to take photos. I paid them no mind. I went straight to the sofa, sat down, and leisurely ate a piece of strawberry cake. Daniel Song pulled Lily Parker into his arms and cleared his throat. Don't take what just happened to heart, everyone. This round is on me. Enjoy yourselves. Lily Parker lowered her head in coordination, her eyes red. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you all for staying with me. This deep profession of gratitude actually helped Lily score quite a few sympathy points. No one mentioned her vanity anymore. A few girls even started whispering that Daniel Song was the ideal man. I nearly choked on my cake. The ideal man? An idiot blinded by greed, about to drive himself and his family into an abyss, and he deserves that title? A few hours later, Lily Parker completely let loose. She took Daniel Song's card and ordered a pile of expensive liquor and snacks. She even used the alcohol as an excuse to pull Daniel into a love duet, her eyes glued to him the entire time, as if she couldn't wait to go public right then and there. Daniel Song was so infatuated by her flattery that his gaze toward me grew increasingly unpleasant and filled with disdain. Lucy Snow was so angry she wanted to argue several times, but I kept holding her back. Don't rush. I leaned into her ear, my voice so low only the two of us could hear. The best part is still to come. Lucy looked at me suspiciously. What are you plotting now? I smiled without speaking, my finger lightly tapping my phone screen. On it was the recording from the hallway where Lily Parker and Daniel Song had slandered me. Didn't Lily Parker want to play the White Lotus? Didn't Daniel Song want to be the hero? Then I would give them a bigger stage to perform on. When the night ended, Lily Parker was naturally linking arms with Daniel Song. They walked ahead, laughing and chatting like a couple in a passionate romance. Daniel Song even thoughtfully carried her bag. That bag was one he had just bought at the mall next to the karaoke bar, a limited edition, identical to the one I wore last month. The comments were still active. The female lead sees progress isn't moving, so she's targeting the male lead first. Is the male lead an idiot? Using the supporting actress's family resources to feed a copycat, and feeling great about it? The supporting actress has been watching this like a play from the start. I bet $100 she's brewing something big. Exiting the karaoke bar, the night breeze made everyone feel sharper. Lucy Snow linked her arm with mine, muttering curses. Daniel Song is truly an ungrateful wolf. And who is Lily Parker playing the victim for? She deserves what's coming. I looked at the message I just received on my phone. My parents had agreed to cancel the engagement with Daniel Song. The specific arrangements were up to me. As expected of my parents. So efficient. Lucy Snow looked even more excited than I was. I want to see how long Daniel Song can stay arrogant without the Ward family's support, that freeloading son-in-law. While the words were harsh, they weren't wrong. The comments reminded me, Lily Parker has used Daniel Song to push the imitation progress to 95%. Soon, I would be completely replaced by her. Lily Parker thought she had climbed onto a rich heir, not knowing that everything the Song family had was given by me. Lucy Snow couldn't help but gloat. By then, they'll be kneeling and singing songs of submission to you. Olivia, what's wrong? Seeing me space out, Lucy asked with concern. Nothing? I shook my head, a cold gleam in my eyes. I just suddenly felt that letting her publicly apologize isn't enough. Lucy's eyes lit up. How do you want to fix her? I'll help. Doesn't she love imitating you? I looked at the tall building with flashing neon lights in the distance and spoke softly. Then I'll show her what a real world of difference looks like. For instance, letting her imitate a height she could never reach in her entire life. For instance, letting her know that the Ward family's money isn't that easy to take. The comments exploded instantly. The supporting actress is about to make a big move. Anticipation at maximum. The female lead is toast. Hurry up and grind that sparrow trying to take the magpie's nest into the dirt. On the day of the school's 70th anniversary gala, Lily Parker appeared at the party wearing a high-end gown identical to mine. She had heard somewhere that I would be going on stage as the student representative, so she arrived 30 minutes early. She stood at the registration desk posing elegantly, accepting everyone's half-sincere compliments. Lily Parker's outfit today is too glamorous, identical to the couture Olivia Ward wears. If you aren't paying attention, it's really hard to tell them apart. I heard she's been very close to young Master Song lately. Maybe he gave it to her. Lily Parker feigned shyness and lowered her head. No, we're just ordinary friends. The comments danced crazily before my eyes. The female lead used the male lead's connections to sneak into the VIP area and even stole the supporting actress's speech draft. She's preparing to read the supporting actress's speech on stage to act like the real rich heiress. So devious. The female lead is only 5% away from completing the mission. She took another $50,000 loan to buy jewelry just to replace the supporting actress tonight. Lucy Snow stood beside me, looking unfriendly. Lily Parker has been getting more and more arrogant lately. Tonight she's even wearing the exact same clothes as you. I smiled slightly to comfort her. No matter how similar she looks, she can't replace me. Exactly. A fake is always a fake, Lucy said, shooting a provocative look at Lily. This time, Lily Parker wasn't timid at all. Instead, she looked up and gave Lucy a provocative smile. The gala officially began. The host announced, "Next, we invite the student representative Olivia Ward to the stage to give a speech." As the spotlight swept across, Lily Parker suddenly stood up from her seat, a step faster than me, and headed toward the stage. "Hello everyone, I am Olivia Ward." The audience went dead silent. Daniel Song, sitting in the front row, looked proud, as if the person shining on stage were himself. Lily Parker took a deep breath and pulled out her phone to read the speech. But when she saw the screen clearly, her face turned pale. The speech she had saved in her notes had somehow turned into screenshots of chat logs between her and a loan shark platform. "What is this?" She looked up in a panic, meeting my half-smiling gaze. I walked slowly onto the stage and took the microphone from her trembling hand. "It seems Lily is too nervous. I'll take it from here." As the spotlight hit me again, the large screen behind me suddenly lit up. It wasn't the preset slideshow, but Lily Parker's achievements from the past few months. Credit card bills maxed out, chat history with shops selling fakes, even the ID photo she took for her high-interest loan and threatening messages from the debt collection company. Everything was projected on the screen without a single omission. The fatal blow was the final video, Daniel Song, using project funds sponsored by the Ward family to transfer money to Lily Parker, accompanied by their chat history. "Once I take over the Ward family business, you can have as much couture as you want." The audience erupted. Daniel Song stood up abruptly, face green, pointing at me. "Olivia Ward, are you crazy?" Lily Parker collapsed on the stage as if the strength had been drained from her, muttering incessantly, "It's over." The comments completely exploded. The supporting actress's ultimate move just stripped the female lead bare. Progress went straight to 0 and then negative 50%. The system reports the female lead failed the mission due to fraud and debt. Song family stocks are plummeting. The Ward family just pulled all investments and exposed evidence of their tax evasion. I spoke calmly into the microphone. "I believe everyone has heard about Lily Parker imitating me lately. I just didn't expect her to have the audacity to impersonate me on such an important occasion." I looked at Daniel Song's ashen face, my lips curling into a cold smile. "But I want to say, a fake is a fake. It can never be the real thing. For those who have mistaken a carp for a pearl, I hope he doesn't regret it." Daniel Song's phone rang incessantly. He held it, not daring to answer. The entire hall was in an uproar. No one expected to see such a massive scandal at the 70th anniversary gala. This was more fascinating than any other performance. After the gala ended, Lily Parker was intercepted backstage by debt collectors. She cried and begged Daniel Song for help, but only received a look of disgust in return. Daniel Song was being beaten by his parents. How did I raise such a bastard? Hurry up and apologize to Olivia. Say you were blinded by greed and that you know you were wrong. Before Daniel Song could open his mouth, I cut them off. No need. Forced fruit isn't sweet. I looked at the Song parents, my tone firm and unyielding. Furthermore, the Ward family has helped the Song family enough over the years. My parents aren't a charity. They can't afford to run a losing business. The Song parents' faces turned pale. They knew that this time, their family was beyond saving. They cursed Daniel Song's stupidity endlessly as they led him away from the school. Before they left, I saw the unwilling look in his eyes. "Ha, idiot." I stood at the end of the hallway, watching Lily Parker being dragged away. The diamonds on her dress fell all over the floor, just like her delusional fantasies being shattered. This feels good. This move directly nailed both of them to a pillar of shame. Lucy Snow, full of admiration, cheered. "Olivia, you're amazing." I smiled softly as my phone buzzed with a message from my parents. "Daughter, well done. For your sake, we've supported the Song family for years. We didn't expect to be raising an ungrateful wolf." From that day on, the comments about the replacement progress grew sparse. The female lead was forced back to the countryside, working 3 jobs to pay off the high-interest debt. She'll never hold her head up again. The male lead and his father went to jail. The Song family assets were seized by the wards, returned to their rightful owner. Finally over. The supporting actress can be her wealthy socialite self in peace now. As the final comment disappeared, I seemed to hear a very faint sound, as if an invisible chain in my heart had just shattered. I thought that from today on, my life would no longer be written by someone else. Lily Parker's dorm room had been cleared out. Nothing remained except a stack of debt notices. I casually tossed them into the trash and went to the canteen with Lucy Snow to buy soy milk and fried dough sticks. "Where are we playing next?" Lucy asked while biting into a dough stick. I took a sip of hot soy milk, the sunlight streaming through the window warming the back of my hand. "Let's go to the library. I haven't finished that financial history book I borrowed last time." "Olivia, you're studying again? Are you going to give the rest of us a chance to live?" "My dear lady, we have to inherit the family business later. If we don't understand finance, are we waiting to become the next generation's Daniel Song? You have to study until you can't anymore. As long as you aren't dead, keep studying." Half an hour later, Lucy Snow's groans echoed in the library. "Save me, I can't study anymore." 3 years later, I was interning at the family company. Lucy Snow had managed to squeeze in as my special assistant under the guise of learning. I heard Lily Parker was still doing odd jobs in the countryside to pay off her debt. Since the Song family went bankrupt, no one had heard any news of them. Sunlight hit the desk, reflecting off the contract I had just signed. The handwriting was sharp and decisive. Everything that had happened felt like a dream. Lucy Snow handed me a cup of milk tea. "Thinking about those two again?" I smiled softly, my gaze looking into the distance. "No, I was just thinking that, actually, no one can truly replace anyone else. Being yourself is the most precious thing." The story ends here. Thank you for listening.